We are live. We're gonna do, I'm gonna do, whoever's gonna do, the little tin that's in the upper right hand corner. It's what it is it's the container that I use to keep my mineral spirits in. So I forgot to put, once again, I need to put this on like a checklist or something, where I remember to put the little um, welcome. Dun, 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 dun. I forgot to put, once again, I need to put this, whoops, echo. Pierre! Hey, I don't know if did you hear yesterday I got the book? And after I was painting, I actually got to look at it for a while. I'm impressed. It's good. We need to make just a color wheel. We haven't done that, or a value scale, all that. Okay. Probably not in the oil pastel. So what are you doing today, Pierre? And or work along with this. There we go. Okay. So is that your way of saying that you're not going to talk today? You're gonna be working along with me on your thing. Do, 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 do. Yesterday I did a test on the on working on the easel, and I really like. I want to finish that painting. I'm pulling out all my like silvers, and there's a little yellow ochre in there. I did sketch it out really, really light. I don't know if you can see it. It's in, I work as you do in oil pastel or oil paint, from lean to fat, so that the oilier is on top. And I'm using Paul Rubens and, oh shoot, what is that called? Why am I having a blank? Why am I? That's terrible. Mungio! Mungio! Gosh. Mungio pastels. Well, they're supposed to be down here. They've kind of gotten mixed together. And then this is a weight. Okay, I'm going to start. I'm going to start. What y'all doing? I sat and read last night. I sat and read a book that I need to do. I probably ought to do a video on it or include it in here. I'm cleaning these off a little bit, but it's an oil painting book. But the color theories and all in it, I should have brought it in here. I really appreciate. I need to get author's other one. I don't have it. I don't think. I'll have to look. I may have to order it. And I just sketch it out real quick. And then right here is this little clamp doohickey. I have painted this before, but in oil pastels, I believe. But I saw somebody else's in oil paint, and I loved it. It was beautiful. So I was like, oh, I need to do it again. You may do anything special for the 4th? I might be. I am gonna have a live. I'm gonna go through a master sketchbook that I have. Oil pastels are just pigment mixed with an oil binder, and you can get them in different softness. They're not the same thing as what they consider soft pastels. You can get soft oil pastels, and then there's soft pastels. Soft pastels are more like the, I don't like the word chalky, but they're dry. Put it that way. They're a nice dry, powdery. They have a different binder. You can find these. I would stay away. I always recommend that people not use the Pentel if possible, at least for your whole thing. Yeah, and I'm second guessing if I should be saying that, but they just don't work as well. And that's the kind that we're usually used in schools. And if you've used them, you're like, oh, I hate pastels. They're terrible. It's because you've used those Pentel pastels. And, I mean, they have their place. Like I sketched out the bottom part of this. They're not archival for one thing, and they have a smell to them. You know, if the smell doesn't bother, you know, everybody's art supplies are personal choice. So if they work for you, but if you're looking for something as a beginner, I would suggest not using them. They aren't readily available. I mean, you can get them at Walmart, Dollar General, you know, all those places. You can get a little set of them, but they just don't blend. They're not, yeah, they're not my favorite. And these aren't too expensive, these ones. Now, if you start getting into like Sennelier and such, they are a little more pricey, or Holbein. But one good thing about them is you can buy them by individual sticks. Which is nice. You don't have to buy a whole set if you run out of something. Is everybody's summer going well? Everybody going swimming every day? your house is perfectly clean, just like you had on your list. I am in the U.S. I'm in Kansas, smack dab in the middle, in a little rural town of about, well, I think we're less than 2,000. I think we're like at 1,800 on a good day. But it's a couple hours to any art supply stores. So a lot of my supplies are purchased online. I do follow the Frugal Crafter if you want to find good bargains on things. She's really great about sharing information on that. And we are a sharing bunch here. If you've got something you want to share online, or I'm just really looking at it, or you just made a website and you want some feedback, or you want, whatever, say what you want from it, and we are obliging folk. Tearing some. I'm wearing gloves because I tend to really get into the work once I get going, and I get it all over my hands. I wear gloves when I'm painting in oil, also in oil paint. That was one thing I really liked about. I'm gonna go get that book. It wasn't very far, so. But this has really good information on pigments and what to look for. That's a weak area for myself, is knowing pigment numbers. So my thought, I've done like the Schmidt. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's a oil painter that was very well respected. But his teacher taught him to do these color charts, and it's too warm. I'll knock it back. Now I'm gonna try and not say He was taught to do these color charts, and I did them. I did the whole. It takes a little while, but I did not learn much about color numbers, pigment numbers, and this book explains some of that in a way that is very digestible. So I think we're going to do some, at least at least one, oh, sorry, color wheel. It's a great way to get used to your materials. I'm going to go for 2 hours today. I will say I have not hit my 4,000K because a year ago I was doing a little bit of filming, and it's just enough that it keeps knocking me back because it falls off from the 365 days. So I'm very slowly creeping up. I can have like 200 views during a week, but if I had 198 that's fallen off, I only get those 2 hours for this year. So I'm keeping at it, plugging along, rolling that boulder uphill. I will get there. It looks like it's, see how soft those are? That was round and I squished it. I pressed too hard. We're not having as many fireworks going off in the neighborhood as we usually do. It's, I don't know why. I mean, we'll hear them at like 9, 10 o'clock, maybe a couple of little things, and then that's it. So I don't know if people just don't have the funds this year, or if people just aren't into it. We have a friend that used to use our yard for their huge firework display with their family, but sadly many of them have passed away. And then our own family would use the yard. My brother-in-law would go, I mean, he bought it. He was one of those that was really into it. Well, we'd use their yard too. Yeah. But, oops, I went down too far on that. I'm just filling in some of these darker metallic looking. Make sure I get that curve of the cylinder that is the container. I'm going to just scrape that off of there because it should go more like about here. I have been really to get to be able to go live on here was no small feat, and the other day I was discussing some possibilities with the doctor. I have social anxiety, but I also have, apparently, she thinks that I am most likely on the spectrum, on the autism spectrum. So it is no small feat for me to be doing these videos. And I don't take it lightly that I'm able to do them now. There are a few things that don't fit with the spectrum on me. But it's enough that, and I don't know if I'm going to get official testing because of my age, for one. Because I'm 61, and I don't plan on filing for disability, and I'm not in school, so I can't have, services there. I'm amazed I made it through. I just wanted to give myself a little credit there for a second, because if you're having those type of issues, no, you're not alone. And if you're older, like moi, it is it's I don't know, it's weird finding out when you're like, I always suspected. I have a lot of grandchildren that are ADHD and on the spectrum. I have one, I think possibly two. One I know for sure, she's been diagnosed. The other one I don't think has been, but I wonder if he's not. One part that I definitely have is rejection sensitivity disorder. So one would think I would not pay attention to how many people were here or how many people were watching. But I do. and it can be difficult to work. It's not an easy job to get a YouTube channel going or monetized. I would equate it to getting a degree, which I managed to get a master's even with the issues, and I do not know how well, I do know. I just white knuckled it. And I had a 2-hour drive to the school, to the university. So it gave me some downtime to, oh, there's another, to decompress, I guess. But I think it's normal at my age to look back and wonder. And these are going totally different topic. Back to the top important topic. These are going on really nice. They're nice and smushy. If you make a mistake when you're doing these, there are ways to fix your mistakes. You're not stuck with whatever it is you've got there. Like right now, this back here should be lighter than what I have it. And of course I can always go over it with a white that's softer and lighten that up. The colors that are there, I want the colors that are there, so that's fine. But if I wanted to change the color, I could go in and just take a palette knife or whatever and scrape it off. And that'll take you down to the very first layer that you put on there. This is gessoed. That's what this white stuff is on the paper. Sometimes it helps keep the first layer from absorbing like this one, but it didn't do it this time. But anyway, you scrape it off, and then you can go over it with whatever color you need and do it that way. This looks like a white, but it's a like soft gray. I didn't know if I was going to say anything about the autism on this channel, but sometimes I think it explains certain things. Like how hard it is to be working this hard at something and not see the numbers that you hope for. Because I've been so close to 4K now for so long that it is just unbelievable. And that covers really well. It's a good start. I'm not going to put that big, well, maybe I better. See that really dark one up there on the reference photo? That fold. I'm going to go ahead and I know my channel is not about autism spectrum, and you may wonder why I even brought it up, but I think there are a number of artists and creatives, especially female, that get overlooked and have to white knuckle it like I did through life and wind up with certain labels by society that are not accurate, and you excuse me, you internalize that. Like right now, if you're watching the replay, there are 0 viewers right now. Showing up on my so it doesn't take the energy to keep going that it would somebody that's neurotypical. And sometimes I don't know what keeps me going on it. And other than I know I want to finish this oil pastel. Whoops. And so I may as well just keep recording, because it would take time to quit recording. And that I'd have to stop. Let's see. Yeah, oil pastels are not my personal favorite medium. So, I may, if this doesn't get the views that I need to push me toward that 4K, I may just start doing oil painting all the time. Because I need the work for an exhibit for next year, and these wind up in this notebook. So I know it's summer and everybody's doing their things, but that came down too far. Fix that real quick. Oops. The surface of this is kind of crusty, if that's the right word. It's been well used, this tin. So oh, that's not the one I wanted. I'm going to leave this with like marks and things on it. I'm not going to make it pristine, is what I was getting at. Let's see. This over there. I'm looking at the screen that you see. I can see I need to get a lot more contrast in here. I think I've got enough already put down that I can just kind of blend it together. That area. Let's see here. Uh-oh, pardon me. Yeah, I'll do something. I'm supposed to go, excuse me, I'm supposed to go live tomorrow, but it has me wondering if I should just record something and pop it up. I guess it'd take me just as long either way. Let's see, I need a darker one. Maybe I just need to get the black out. Like a Payne's gray. That looks kind of cool, just like that, to me. Hold on just one moment. I needed to blow my nose, so I didn't think you wanted to hear that. Let's see, let's get a dark. We need some deep contrast in there. Especially in areas like right in there, along the lip. If you can't get an edge, because once these wear down, they get you know, like that, and you can't get an edge. If you break them, they will do it, and or you can always just rub them down till they're flat, you know, this way. But to me, that's wasteful. At least if I break them. I'm not. I'm not being wasteful. This is a very monochromatic piece. And I'm okay with that. Sometimes there's beauty just in the simplicity. I do have sprints this afternoon on my other channel. Scheduled anyway. I may cancel them. If there's not a need for them. Guess it doesn't matter what I talk about at this point. Unless you're watching the replay. This right here just whole area back here used to be a little darker. I may just leave those marks on there rather than blend it, just to give it some variety. A little texture. If you've never used oil pastels before and you're curious, I strongly encourage it. Woo! I'll take care of that. I got that way off. Clean that up a little. This is just a sculpting tool, but you can use like an awl or even just a needle, whatever you've got, and it will do the same thing. Just something pointy and scrapey, a nail. Just trying to get some of these little highlights in there. A lot of times you won't have the color that you feel like you need, so you're going to have to blend it and mix it. And get it as close as you can that way. This needs to. This has runs coming down it. If you can't see it's a little crusty. It's been used a lot. It's a mineral spirits can that I use for oil painting. I wish there was a way I could do this without putting my hand over it, while I was working. Because then you can't see what's going on. And I can't always work like this and get the marks. Oops, I'm just going to scrape that out, but I think if I put this a lighter gray, it'll clean it up well. This looks like it's white, but it's actually a pale gray. And the oil pastel on the surface is getting kind of goopy. That's a technical term. I'm pondering what it looks like, what I need to do. For starters, this over here needs more definition. That helps. That shadow. I'm doing this to get a little bit of, to help with this edge on that side. I think this is my favorite technique, using this scratchy tool. It's, if you've been at my other videos, I'm sure you've seen me use it then too. Let's see. This needs a little more value to it. Looks very flat. trying to give it a little more form so it looks rounder like it should, and not just a flat gray. This over here, get off of there. This tab thingy that pops down is really dirty. It's got a lot of residue. This over here should be dark. I think I got the spacing wrong here too. There should be more space in between here and this. Which isn't really that difficult to fix, because it should come down to about here. And then that. Has that hook, and it comes around like that. And this. I don't know that I'm getting it that much further down. We'll make her work. I'm looking. I'm looking to see what. Really dark I need to put. This handle thing is kind of crusty too. I'm still trying to decide my schedule for July. I think I'll keep doing the Mondays, but I don't know that I'll keep doing the oil pastel unless there's enough people that need it, and if I'm not getting the numbers. I know that sounds may sound bad, but There's a little hook thing right there. Ooh, got that too far over. This needs more of a yellowish tint, doesn't it? Kind of that crusty. Mixed in with the gray. I know that's way too light, but I can tone it down. Tone it down just a little. It's not so stark. And that is actually over there. That goes up there. For some reason, had it down here. So what's everybody else working on? Anything interesting? I haven't decided what I'm going to do tomorrow yet. We used to have these big family blowouts. We'll see what tomorrow brings. It sounded very philosophical, didn't it? Just soften that right there. Where's my white? Is that my white? I guess I need mine. There it is. My mirror. I don't think you can see underneath there. See that edge enough. Is that my black light? Thought it had more of an edge. Guess I wore it down. That brought it out a little more, didn't it? Is that my white? I hate that I can't tell the difference between my white and my that off gray. Need to label them or something. Or I could just look at the color and pay attention. I know this isn't really tight and exact, but I kind of like it. Don't always. I think it's because I know that this can is like really Yeah, it's been well used. I've got this down too far. And I have two options. I can either bring that up or bring this line down just a little. Let's see if we can do that. Well, see, it's okay over here. Yeah. So I guess let's bring it up. I need to put that shadow in there. And yeah, I see that there's a lot more golden. That's a gray. Like this. Especially up here along the tops of it. There's a spot right there, kind of. These reflections. This is too much. There we go. Oh, there we go. Gray over that. What did I do? There we go. This is kind of a peachy, like fleshy tone. This is that light gray. I think that's even what it's actually called, is light gray. They didn't get very original with the color names at that point. Ew, that's a little off, isn't it? I need a brown. Maybe this is. This is when the surface is starting to get saturated with the oil pastel. And if you really want a true color, you'll have to scrape some off. And I kind of like it with the thick, messy look. As long as it doesn't look like mud, I'm happy. This I'm just trying to get a little bit darker than this one, so it looks more like a highlight. Ooh. This is not a good time to... Sorry. I don't know what that's all about. Let me mute so you don't have to hear him barking. I think he's done. Let's see. What do we have? I know I don't have it as golden in color is what the reference photo is. Let's try and bring those colors up a little. But it is just a reference photo. It's not. It doesn't have to be exactly like it. Let's see. We've got about half an hour left, is all. I'll just put in some of these details if I can. There's little splotches and splatters. Because I don't always wipe it off like I should. So he's got some character on there. This right here. Some round. That's not quite as dark as that is right there, but it's working, so I'm going to leave it. Oops. Let's see. That's a brown. There we go. I'm going to have to clean that up. If I can find my thingy. I didn't realize I got this side that far over. Trying to fill that in right there. I know that looks more like rust spots than, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to get out some Sennelier. Just to whoops. This right here, for one thing's not right. It needs to go in. So that needs a black spot. There we go. Okay, these Sennelier they're a lot softer. So I can go over the Paul Rubens. The point being fat over lean. If I tried to do this, as you saw earlier, with just a Paul Rubens, it would just kind of slide. It would just push the stuff around. This right here needs lightened up. Oops, where's my this has a I'm gonna try some of this on there. There's a lighter spot right there. Ooh, I forgot about the black in here. This is going to give a rich black. I thought. Oh, there's that. Oops. Let's get a little of this in here. One reason that this is a really bad time of year for oil pastels is if you're not cooling them off. If you're trying to do plain air without an ice pack or something, it can they'll just melt. They'll become like a puddle. So don't leave them in your car. Think of them as like a puppy or a baby. Yeah, I know this is not exactly like the reference photo, but I'm okay with that. I think it looks kind of cool, kind of cute. And it is just a reference photo. It's not a doesn't need to be an exact copy. I'm really not paying attention. I just put that in the Cinemaia box. I just saw something that was got smeared or something. I've only got about 15 minutes left. So I'm just going to fine tune some of these. Wish I could get that drip on there. That's kind of close. Kind of, sort of, maybe. I love this Simulated Pastels. The oil paint is amazing too. Get that little highlight out of there. This shadow needs to be dark. Look at the paper on my Simulated. It's getting nice and oily. See one thing. This needs to be thinner over here. This shadow. And I can go over that with the gray pastel. And get rid of the and I'll go over that with a white. Just gently to tone it down just a little. I can blend this with a paintbrush and mineral spirits or a blender like what you'd use in drawing. But I like the roughness of it. I like that there's a little texture on it. That's the wrong one. I'm just looking, just to seeing if, Is there anything I would change? Where's my scraper? There it is. I wish I could get this highlight in here a little better. Guess that's better than what I had, huh? Put a little gray in there to smooth that out. Whoops. Whoops, that was just a color I had on the tip. Alright, I think I'm gonna start cleaning these up a little so I can take the tape off. Oops, let's see. The oscillator, yep. I can put the lid on there. I don't want to pick up my notebook to get this tape off and have oil pastels roll underneath it. Leave that one out. This won't take very long. I just need to get these out of the way so I don't get squished. Oh, come on. Okay, where's my white? Well, I don't want my white, do I? Light gray. And I want gray, gray. Once these break, it's really hard to know sometimes where to put them. I'm running out of space. Well, shoot. I know you're not sommelier, so I know you don't belong in the other box. There. I think that looks pretty good. Oh, I see something though. I bet I can't find the one though that I need. I'll just use this one. It needs a little bit of this, of that yellowish underneath here too. That's not perfect, but we are out of time. Okay. What I wound up with. Let's see. Pastel. Used reference photo. Seven. 225. Or is it the third? Oh, it's the third. Live YouTube. demo. Okay. I think that's it, guys. People, folks. Let me get rid of this reference photo. Boom. There she is. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. If you're on the replay, please leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you next time. I am thinking of doing this on every Thursday if there are enough people interested in it. But if there is not, I'm going to continue working on my oil painting that I want to do on Wednesdays. There's a slight reflection down here. I didn't get it. Okay. All right. Thanks all. I appreciate you.